What if I told you the one thing you've been avoiding in your garden could be the key to its explosive growth? Everyone says seaweed is too salty for plants, but what if that's completely wrong? Join me as we conduct a fascinating experiment to unveil the real story behind seaweed's saltiness and discover its incredible, often overlooked power when paired with compost. Your garden will thank you. Let's address the elephant in the room, the widespread belief that seaweed is too salty for garden use. This misconception has prevented countless gardeners from accessing one of nature's most powerful soil amendments. The truth is far more nuanced and exciting than the simple seaweed equals salt equals bad equation that's been passed down through gardening circles. Fresh seaweed does contain salt, but here's what most gardeners don't realize. The salt content is primarily on the surface, and it dissipates remarkably quickly when exposed to fresh water or even morning dew. Think of it like a light dusting rather than the plant being saturated with salt throughout its cellular structure. When you rinse seaweed or allow it to weather naturally for just a few days, the majority of surface salt washes away, leaving behind an incredibly nutrient-dense organic material that plants absolutely love. The real magic really lies in seaweed's unique mineral profile, which actually contains over 60 trace elements that are often deficient in inland soils. These include boron, iron, manganese, copper, and zinc, along with natural plant hormones like auxins and cytokinins that, promote healthy root development and overall plant vigor. The fear of salt has, unfortunately, caused gardeners to miss out on this treasure trove of beneficial compounds that can truly transform soil health and plant performance. Before adding seaweed to your compost pile, a simple rinse with fresh water can remove any lingering surface salt if you're particularly concerned. However, many successful gardeners skip this step entirely, finding that the composting process naturally dilutes and neutralizes any salt content. The key to successful seaweed composting lies in preparation. Chopping or shredding seaweed before adding it to your pile dramatically accelerates decomposition. Seaweed's cellular structure breaks down much faster than woody materials, but, giving it a head start by cutting it into smaller pieces ensures even faster integration into your compost ecosystem. This also prevents large sheets of seaweed from matting together and creating anaerobic pockets that could slow down the entire composting process. When layering seaweed into your compost pile, treat it as a nitrogen-rich green material similar to grass clippings or kitchen scraps. Balance it with carbon-rich brown materials like dried leaves, paper, or wood chips. So, a general rule of thumb is to use seaweed as no more than 1/4 of your total compost volume. This helps ensure the proper carbon-to-nitrogen ratios that really promote healthy decomposition and, prevent any potential salt concentration issues. The combination of seaweed and traditional compost materials creates what I like to call garden gold. It's basically a supercharged soil amendment that, honestly, outperforms either component used alone. Seaweed brings an impressive nitrogen content to your compost pile, often ranging from 2 to 4% nitrogen by dry weight, which perfectly complements carbon-rich materials and, accelerates the entire decomposition process. What makes this combination truly extraordinary is the microbial magic that occurs. Seaweed acts as a probiotic for your compost pile, introducing beneficial marine microorganisms that work synergistically with soil-based bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms bring unique enzymatic capabilities that break down organic matter more efficiently and honestly create complex nutrient compounds that are readily available to plants. The enzymes naturally present in seaweed, especially alginase and various proteases, really do help speed up the decomposition of other organic materials in your compost pile. What might typically take 6 to 12 months to fully decompose can actually be ready in just 3 to 6 months when seaweed is properly integrated into your composting system. This acceleration doesn't compromise quality. In fact, it often results in a more uniform, nutrient-dense final product. The finished seaweed compost blend delivers benefits that extend far beyond basic nutrition. This powerhouse combination creates a broad-spectrum soil conditioner that addresses multiple aspects of plant health simultaneously. The trace minerals from seaweed remain stable throughout the composting process, becoming even more bioavailable as they bind with organic compounds created during decomposition. Soil structure improvements are among the most dramatic benefits you'll observe. The polysaccharides in seaweed, particularly alginates from brown seaweeds, act as natural soil conditioners that improve both water retention and drainage. Clay soils become less compacted and better draining, while sandy soils gain improved water and nutrient retention capacity. Perhaps most importantly, plants grown in seaweed-amended compost demonstrate remarkable natural resilience to diseases and pest pressure. When it comes to using your seaweed compost blend, timing and application method can make all the difference. For established gardens, work the finished compost into the top 4 to 6 inches of soil during spring preparation or fall cleanup. So, for new plantings, you can safely use up to 30% seaweed compost in your planting mix without any concern about salt concentration. The composting process has, neutralized any potential issues. Sourcing seaweed ethically and sustainably is, crucial for responsible gardening. Many coastal areas have regulations about seaweed harvesting, so always check local laws before collecting. It's important to be mindful of these guidelines to ensure we're doing our part for the environment. So, it's a good idea to monitor your plant's response to seaweed compost applications and, be prepared to adjust your approach based on what you observe. Most plants will show positive responses within 2 to 4 weeks, like deeper green foliage, improved flowering, and just, enhanced overall vigor. The combination of seaweed and compost really represents one of gardening's best-kept secrets. It's a completely natural, sustainable way to supercharge your soil and your plants at the same time. By understanding the real science behind seaweed's salt content and learning to harness its incredible benefits through proper composting techniques, you're actually unlocking a level of garden performance that synthetic fertilizers just can't match. If this guide has opened your eyes to the incredible potential of seaweed in your garden, hey, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Smart Garden for more myth-busting gardening science and, share this video with fellow gardeners who are ready to discover the truth about this amazing natural resource. Your plants and your gardening community will thank you for spreading the word about this garden game changer.